Welcome to the GREENPOINT Williamsburg News Magazine. Neighborhoods Today. In this edition, we travel into Williamsburg and learn about many of the problems facing the community. Angel Cappellino visits the Jackson Street Settlement House, where 5 years ago the Latchkey program became a part of the after-school services. Dr. Leon Nadrowski reports on the next edition of Health Update. Chef Ralph LUPOLI invites us to fanciful feastings to show us how to prepare 2 cold pasta dishes. And I'm Dick Mahan. Our first story deals with a controversy between the Hispanic and the Hasidic communities in the Williamsburg section of Brooklyn, and the police officer who stands in the middle of this current dispute. Williamsburg has a population of 156,000 residents. About 31% are Hispanic and about 40% are Hasidic. The ethnic areas are very close to each other, sometimes a block or 2 apart, and often they overlap. Graham Avenue is the main shopping area for the Hispanics, while Lee Avenue is the center of commerce for the Hasidim. Over the years, there has been a grating ethnic friction over the use of land, police services, scarce housing, and political power. At a town hall meeting held in PS 250, we come to the center of the dispute regarding the transfer of police officer Hector Ariza out of the 90th precinct. Police officials say the officer was moved because of a motorist complaint that Ariza attacked him in an off-duty fender-bending incident. Ariza claims he was transferred because of allegations he made that the police showed favoritism toward the Hasidim. The Latino community has jumped to Ariza's defense, saying his transfer was punishment for speaking out about preferential treatment given to the Hasidim. Police Commissioner Lee Brown answers an angry Latino group.
In this case, Officer Ariza was transferred from his assignment temporarily for a 90-day period. That does not carry with it any punishment, and there's a reason that he was transferred, which would occur to anybody in similar situation. There were two allegations made. They are currently under investigation, and we feel very strongly that in the best interest of the department and also in his best interest, that it was necessary to make that temporary transfer. It's a temporary transfer. Once we complete the investigation, then we can make some decision. It is not a punishment. It would have happened to anyone under similar circumstances.
The Hasidim deny the charges of favoritism and point out their own complaints with the 90th precinct, recalling a clash between police and 300 Hasidim protesting an arrest outside the 90th precinct, and the excessive ticketing of buses and business vehicles. The Hasidim feel because of this commotion, there are various services they won't be receiving because someone will say it is preferential treatment. How will this struggle end? And when will healing of this community begin? Mayor Dinkins and his staff have already begun speaking with the leaders of each community. And the City Human Rights Agency plans conflict resolution classes for the Williamsburg leaders. Residents of Williamsburg are up in arms over a planned expansion of a nuclear waste repository. In ethically diverse Williamsburg, consensus seems to have been reached on one matter.
Radioactive waste should be kept in the nuclear reactors that make most of it in the first place.
As concerned residents, parents, and teenagers, we unite to spread the message that Radiac must go!
It concerns Radiac, a private-owned, state-sanctioned waste removal firm with storage facilities in Williamsburg. Neighborhood groups believe Radiac plans to expand, adding to radioactive waste already stored in the facility, putting the community in peril.
This is the only facility in the metropolitan area that stores both radioactive waste and flammable toxic waste together. And we feel that the danger is that if a fire were to break out, it could easily engulf the radioactive materials. We are, as you can see, within easy striking distance of Manhattan there. PS 84 is 1,000 elementary school students, 1 block away.
The Radiac officials who took part in the community meeting say there are no plans to expand in motion, and the radioactive levels are no concern to residents.
Radiac does not handle any nuclear radioactive material from reactors. The only thing we service are hospitals, universities, and research institutions within the metropolitan area.
Radiac says it has a clean safety record, the support of the state and the city, and despite the community opposition, plans to add to its 22-year-old presence in the community. We would like to take this opportunity to thank WPIX Channel 11 for the video footage and material used in the Radiac report. And in the Bushwick community, REENA's here to tell us about an organization working towards positive change.
The Bushwick Geographic Targeting Task Force is the catalyst for a partnership between local organizations, New York Community Trust, and grant making. Now, the task force is attempting to see whether or not grants to a poor area will bring about improvements in social and economic conditions. The premise is that lives are shaped at the neighborhood level, and local nonprofit organizations are the protectors of the quality of life. At a recent annual dinner for the task force, Bushwick residents, neighborhood leaders, and local merchants came together to address the community's needs. The goal is to improve social, economic, and environmental conditions by joining with existing agencies and establishing new programs. They'll tackle issues like child care, crime and substance abuse, and family and youth services.
REENA, this sounds like a very committed group.
You know, Dick, they really are. But what is most important to remember is that this is really a collaborative effort. You have the task force working with the local merchants, with local residents, and with local politicians, and that's really when situations change and people can make a difference. And we'll be going back in the next show to do a few in-depth interviews.
REENA, we'll be looking forward to that.
Hi, join me and I'll show you how to make pasta crudo when Neighborhoods Today returns in just a moment after this message.
The term latchkey child was given to children of working parents. Each child would carry their house keys around their necks. After school, these children would go home to an empty house and would be forced to fend for themselves. 5 years ago, the School Settlement Association started the latchkey program. Our reporter, Angel Cappellino, spends her working hours as the latchkey program director. Here is her report on the much-needed service for our community.
In the Williamsburg section of Brooklyn, we find the School Settlement Association, also known as the Jackson Street Settlement House. Founded in 1901, this agency has dedicated itself to improving the life of its community, and indeed it has. In keeping with the community's needs, 5 years ago, an after-school program known as the Latchkey Program became a much-needed addition to the school settlement services. With the increasing number of working parents with school-aged children, this program serves to not only care for, but also to enrich the lives of its 5 to 13-year-old children. The Latchkey Child's Day begins with pickup. At 3 p.m., when the children are released from local public school 132, they are greeted by several counselors. At the designated area, the children line up and are escorted to the settlement house. Once here, the fun begins. The activities are carefully planned to promote participatory, organizational, and self-esteem skills. An all-time favorite is arts and crafts. Besides making the typical crafts items, the children are encouraged to express themselves with the basic elements, such as pencils, crayons, and paint. Once a year, the State Division of Youth sponsors an art show where the children's works are proudly displayed. Dance class is another prime activity. With each group taking one dance class a week, the school settlement is never short of talented dancing feet. This class has proven to encourage body expression and proper use of energy. Thanks to the dancers' efforts, the school settlement's Christmas and spring shows were quite successful. The school settlement boys enjoy nothing better than a fast game of basketball. Hockey, volleyball, and weekly mass activities provide the children with the opportunity to display athletic skills. However, all is not fun and games. Each day, time is allotted for homework and individual academic help. Also, once a month, guest speakers will conduct seminars on self-sufficiency skills. Some of the topics have included fire and personal safety, children's rights, drug and alcohol abuse. With all of its diverse activities, I am often asked as the Latchkey Program Director which part of the program is the most beneficial for the children. Without a doubt, the most beneficial aspect of the Latchkey program would be the relationship between the counselors and the children. In most cases, the children leave their parents at 7 in the morning and have no contact with them until 6 in the evening. Their counselor then becomes big brother or big sister, providing each child with love and security. So it would be safe to say, in these hard and violent times, the Latchkey program provides working parents peace of mind and its children a creative, stimulating, and loving home. A home the School Settlement Association believes every child is entitled to.
Now to the kitchens of fanciful feastings, and we join Chef Ralph LUPOLI as he prepares 2 cold pasta dishes.
Good evening. Welcome to Fanciful Feasting. We're so delighted that you're able to cook with us again tonight. Tonight I'm going to show you how to make 2 cold pasta sauces. Great buffet dishes, and you're really going to enjoy them. The first one is a classic in the Chinese repertoire, which is a spicy peanut sauce, and I'm sure you've had this in many, many restaurants. Now we need to heat the ingredients here just to dissolve them. And what we do is take a 1/4 cup of smooth peanut butter, and I have this on a very low flame. We add 3 tablespoons of sugar. It's hard sugar. That's what happens when you're working under lights sometime. And a 1/4 cup of light soy sauce. Light means that there is less sugar, less salt, excuse me, in the soy sauce. And we stir that up and dissolve all of that. This is going to go over cold spaghetti. I know it may sound crazy, but once you taste it, you're going to absolutely love it. You get it all over your recipes and everything else. We then need a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. Keep stirring it so that it dissolves. 3 tablespoons of sesame oil. If you can get the toasted sesame oil, that'll give you a better flavor. Just keep stirring. We need 1 I'm sorry, we got it out of order. 1/2 garlic. Again, this is sticking from the lights. And keep stirring that so it's all dissolved together. And we need 3 tablespoons of oil. And that's basically the sauce. I mean, what could be easier than this? Can you see that it's all coming together? Now this is enough for 1/2 pound of pasta. Now you cook your pasta, your spaghetti, as you normally would. Then you take it and you drain it and then run it under cold water. And keep doing this under cold water so that you get all of the starch out. And you see, you'll have no problem with it sticking. And you just pour this over it. Mix it together. I want to show you a little decoration here too, which is very, very pretty. Now you add some scallions, chopped green onion, some shredded carrot, and some peanuts, which have been toasted. I have made a few of these little brushes here, which make wonderful decorations. Can you see that? That's really this. I'm going to show you how to make that. And what you do is just take it, cut the end off, cut that off, peel it. Now that's the root end. So we take it this way. If you're having problems seeing this, it's because my hand is in the way. Cut it down to about there. See it? And try to get it as thin as possible. Toss it into some ice cold water, and this is what you'll get. No, not that. That's what I just tossed in. This is what you'll get. Now those are spicy noodles, and you can put them in a very pretty dish, but we're going to leave them in this bowl because the crew is going to eat them right away. And that's our first cold pasta sauce. I hope you're going to enjoy this. If you want the recipe for any of the pasta sauces that we do tonight, send a stamped, self-addressed envelope to Neighborhoods Today at the address you'll see on your screen later, and we'll be delighted to send you any recipe that you like.
And we'll be right back after this message.
Not again.
Dad, what are they doing?
They're taking care of the roads, hon.
Bridges too?
Yep. Even the sidewalks we take to school. They really keep this city moving.
They're great, Dad.
Yeah, they really are.
And here is our second pasta dish. Now this lends itself to real, and you must use only fresh vegetables. We have 1.5 pounds of ripe tomatoes, ripe plum tomatoes. Now if you buy these or you get them out of your garden, wherever, however you get them, and they're not entirely ripe, keep them out overnight for a few days. They will ripen. If you just leave them out on a windowsill or out in a dish, do not refrigerate them. What we do, now this is called salsa cruda, which means a crude sauce. We just cut the tomato in half, cut it down in slices, and just chop it up a little bit. Doesn't really matter how you do it, but okay. We'll add that to get all that good stuff in there. Then we need 1/2 cup of black chopped olives. We need 1/3 cup of olive oil. We need 2 chopped up garlics, and it's got to be fresh, and it doesn't matter how you chop it up. We need 1/3 cup of fresh chopped parsley. Whoop, that happened. You're in the kitchen alone, remember that. We need fresh basil, and this is up to you. Now, this has been frozen, so it's no problem. It's still fresh basil. And put that in there. That's how you like it. We need a few red pepper flakes, or as some Italians call this, diavolo, which means hot. And this is what we're going to do with the vodka. To make this really icy, throw in 1/3 of a cup of vodka. Mix it all up. Can you see that? I can't begin to tell you what this smells like. It's driving me wild. Mix it all up. Now throw in 1 pound of hot cooked rotelli. Rotelli is good for this because it'll catch all this stuff. You drop some on the table, you pick them up, you wrap them up, and just mix it up. Now you can serve this just like this, with the hot pasta and the cold sauce, or you can allow it to sit out for a while and let the flavors come together and come down to room temperature. Believe me, we have 2 wonderful pasta sauces here. You're mixing it up, and you have a wonderful, wonderful pasta sauce that looks absolutely great, smells fantastic, and sitting on your buffet table, of course, in a prettier dish than this, will be absolutely wonderful, and nobody will know that you have vodka in it. Thank you for joining us. Again, if you want the recipes, please write to Neighborhoods Today, send a self-stamp addressed envelope, and we'll be delighted to send you the recipes. Good night.
With our next installment of Health Update, here is Dr. Leon Nadrowski.
There are over 10 million Americans who have diabetes of various forms, and most of them are the hereditary type. There are 2 classifications, the insulin-dependent diabetes and also the non-insulin-dependent diabetes. The symptoms that most uncontrolled diabetics have are as follows. They have thirst, they have dry mouth, they have urinary frequency, hunger, and loss of weight. However, not all diabetics have these symptoms, and the way to make a diagnosis is to take a blood sugar, a fasting type of blood sugar, which should be at 140 and over on 2 occasions. The normal is between 70 and 110. The treatment for diabetes depends on the different classifications. If you're less than 30 years of age and you're the insulin-dependent type of diabetic, you need insulin for your control. Otherwise, you may go into coma. For those patients who are over the age of 30, who are non-insulin dependent type, may require just a good diet, which consists of carbohydrate of about 50%, high protein, and very little fat. Also, oral medication, which acts like insulin but is not as potent as insulin, can be very helpful and can be decided upon as to what drug to be given to the patient. And also, if you're obese, to lose weight, because that will control diabetes also. Not all patients in the non-insulin diabetic category require insulin. However, there are a few who do, and the doctor should monitor that patient and decide if that patient requires the insulin. What are the complications of diabetes when diabetes is uncontrolled? They're very serious complications, extremely serious, like blindness, kidney failure, gangrene of toes and feet which require amputation, early strokes, early heart attacks. And in diabetics, invariably, those who are uncontrolled get loss of sensation in their extremities, their feet and their toes. They can get an ulcer there and not even know that it's there, get infected so badly that they require an amputation. However, all of these complications can be avoided by good control of your diabetes, by seeing a doctor and controlling the diabetes with the help of a doctor. And a person could live a normal life just as someone who doesn't have diabetes.
Neighborhoods Today will continue right after this message.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Don't make yourself a victim. Stay alert. Keep electronic devices out of sight. Call 911.
With concrete and other pieces of metal debris falling from an abandoned walkway, renewed attention has been put on the Williamsburg Bridge. One local resident states that walking the bridge is strange with all the metal plates corroding, and bicycle riding is hard and a bit dangerous. 600 concrete slabs have been removed from the unused deck above the Brooklyn-bound lanes, but many other problems remain. Delays are already common throughout the day, and no changes are expected. Another resident believes a new bridge with an exit onto the FDR Drive may be the answer sometime in the future.
Crime happens, but where it happens and who becomes the victim can be influenced by you and your community. As the eyes and ears of their neighborhoods, Block Watch programs assist police by reporting suspicious activity.
I'm witnessing a theft from a vehicle.
To learn more about crime prevention in your neighborhood, contact your local police department or the Block Watch Society of BC.
That's it for this edition. For Neighborhoods Today, I'm Dick Mahan. Thank you for watching.